You saw Rachel Maddow. You may, if you watch this show, I brought this to your attention this week, trying to suggest that somehow she's going to wind up in a camp if Donald Trump becomes president. And then you had AOC claiming on a podcast that she's going to jail if Donald Trump becomes president. You see, they're trying to tell you, you cannot vote for this guy. He's going to destroy the country. He's going to put everybody in jail. It's not the case, but there's this hysteria out there, and they're somehow promoting this on mainstream airwaves. Can we call them out for that? You know what? I'm going to tell you this. It's your prerogative. You want to watch that junk? You go watch that junk. Really. You know what? Again, First Amendment queen right here. You go watch all the junk you want to watch on CNN. At least understand how the other side is thinking. And if you don't want to watch it, I'll take the hit for you. That's what I do here, right? And I give it to you in bits and pieces. Let's watch Hannity's favorite punching bag. This guy who did nothing. He was like the original newsletter writer. And then for some reason, they tossed him at CNN because I guess they thought this was a TV person. He didn't look the part. Now somehow, Prince in charge and he's back on the airwaves. Watch him hear what he has to say. I mean, he thinks he might be going to jail too. Don't flatter yourself.
It's valuable to think ahead to what may happen in a second Trump term. This is frankly speculative nonfiction because we use the words that Trump and his allies have said, and we use them to talk about the future. Jail, of course, is the extreme part of the spectrum. Imprisonment is an extreme part. But think about IRS audits. Think about government pressure on media companies. Think about other forms of government interference. There are a lot of pressure points. And frankly, Rachel Maddow is not the only member of the media thinking about this. I've talked to the heads of news organizations, CEOs of media companies that are thinking through, not in dramatic fashion, not because they're afraid of going to jail, but because they want to know what could Trump do to use his power in a second term to punish the media.
And it's also now a real question whether the voters actually take that information and believe it.
I mean, you think they're gonna go after you too? I mean, it's kind of silly, but please understand the politics at play here, right? What else are you gonna do? You're not gonna run Biden. You don't have a candidate. If you guys had been smart, you would have actually primaried Biden. I think that you would have maybe wound up with Gavin Newsom in the seat, who comes with a whole other set of complications and problems. And you have only to look at the disaster that is California to understand that. New report out about the beaches being the filthiest in California. Somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, the point being that you should have primaried the guy, but you know what? You didn't. So now you're stuck with a bad candidate who's kind of done a bad job. Any way you slice it. And now he's left with an approval rating that's somewhere around 37%, to the point where Nate Silver, who runs 538, is like, whoa, it might be time to look at running someone else. I mean, seriously, it comes with risks. But guys, you're risking a lot by running Joe Biden. You bet they are. So all they got is to say, oh, you're going to wind up in jail, this, that, and the other. And so they make these wild accusations. And that's where we are right now. And that's what you're seeing proof of. And so they're going to make the accusations. They're going to try and scare and intimidate. They're going to try to literally cancel. I mean, this is like what they say that the other side's going to do. They're doing. You can't buy a ticket to Tucker Carlson. God help you. And Ticketmaster, how dare you try and make money on any of this? Right? That's what they're doing. It's gone too far.